back again for a nice 10-minute wiggle about this morning for some nice gentle movement, nice bit of breath work as well. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So as we do quite often, just coming to find a comfortable seat this morning. So that can be with your legs crossed, like we did at school. It can be like I like to do, which is just stack one foot in front of the other. You can see, bring one in, bring the other one in front, and then just let your knees drop down. You can have the legs out long if you prefer. You can sit on the knees, you can lie down, but just come to find a comfortable seat for you. And first things first, we're just going to come to some stillness. We are going to find some quiet moments just to bring our focus inwards and bring the focus onto the breath. And the breath is then what's going to see us through the rest of the practice. So just finding somewhere to place your hands. It can be in your lap, on your knees, down by your side. Just finding somewhere to gently rest them for a couple of minutes of quiet time. If it feels comfortable for you, maybe you could close down the eyes. And just begin to notice your surroundings, what's around you. What can you hear? The birds are going crazy here this morning. They're so loud. Maybe you can hear things going on in other rooms of your house. Maybe you can hear the heating kicking in or the air conditioner. Just become aware of it and then let it go. And then we're going to bring our awareness inwards. So notice how you feel this morning. Do you feel raring to go? If you're in the UK practicing this in real time with me, maybe you've just woken up. Are you still in bed? Are you still in your pajamas? Are you feeling ready and energized for the day, or are you ready to enjoy a few minutes of nice, gentle stretching? Are you maybe carrying some baggage from yesterday? Do you maybe not feel so great? Whatever it is, just notice it. And then we're going to bring the awareness onto the breath. So don't change anything at all, but just observe. Are you breathing through the nose or through the mouth? In the belly or the chest? Do you breathe quickly or do you breathe slowly? I invite you to deepen your breath now. So lengthen the inhales and maybe matching the length with your exhales. Maybe if it feels comfortable, taking those inhales through the nose. All the time, just noticing how different things feel in your body. And if the eyes are closed, just begin to blink them open. And we'll just take some of those gentle movements with the breath to begin with. So as we inhale, just take your chin up towards the ceiling, gazing up. And then as you exhale, reverse the motion. So just bring your chin to your chest. Take another round. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, looking down to the ground. Inhale to come back up into center. And then we're going to take it side to side. So as you inhale, think nice and long through the spine. And then as you exhale, we're just going to take the right ear over the right shoulder. You should feel a really nice stretch all down the left side of the neck here. As you inhale, come back up, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, sending the left ear over the left shoulder. Feeling the side stretch all down the right side now. Really nice. And then inhale, come back into center. Let's take some shoulder shrugs this morning. So as you inhale, send the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you exhale, rolling them down the back. Inhale, bring the shoulders up. This is the one that always makes my body crick and crack like mad. Send them back down. Let's do one more. Inhale, sending the shoulders up. Exhale, send them down the back. Let's bring the right hand onto the mat. And as you inhale, send the left hand up and over towards the right. Feeling that side stretch now, further down the body, all down the side, through the ribs, down into the hips. Really reaching with the tips of the left hand, the tips of the fingers of the left hand. Inhale to come up. Let's send both hands up towards the ceiling here. Really reaching as much as you can. And then as you exhale, let's bring the left hand onto the mat, right hand up and over. Really reaching as much as you can just to deepen that stretch. Feel it a bit more intensely down the right side of the body. Coming back up, inhale. And then exhale, bringing the hands down by the side. Let's keep this one going. So as you inhale, send the arms up overhead. Maybe following with your gaze if that feels good. Looking up towards the hands and then exhaling, bringing the arms down by the sides. Inhale, send the arms up. Maybe follow with the gaze. Exhale, sending the hands back down. We're going to come to tabletop position. So swinging the legs around, let's find all fours. So the hands can be underneath the shoulder points, knees underneath the hip points. And we're just going to take some nice, juicy cat-cow this morning. So as you inhale, drop the belly down, gazing up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, really pressing the ground away, pushing through the hands, maybe bringing the chin to chest. Inhaling, gazing up. You can be on the tops of the feet here, or you can tuck the toes if that feels better for you. Reversing that motion, exhaling, curving through the spine. Let's take one more round. Inhale, gazing up. Dropping the belly down. Exhale, pressing through the hands, pressing through the mat. Chin maybe comes to chest. And then let's find neutral spine in tabletop position. We're going to explore this morning a little bit of low lunge. So sitting up on the knees, you can maybe bring your hands to your hips initially. All we're going to do this morning is find how this feels in our body. Just explore, just play with it. We're going to bring the right foot up out in front of us. So you'll see, I've really done that. I've got two nice right angles going on there. But have a play. So if you don't feel so stable here, you can send the right foot a bit further out. So your stance is wider. So it's more like you're on a train track rather than on a tightrope. That'll give you a little bit more balance. You can also walk that front foot, so the right foot, you can gently edge that forwards if you prefer. So we're less of a right angle now, but then you can sink down into that front knee. You're really pressing through the foot, so we're nice and strong through that front leg. But now you'll feel the stretch through the right hip and through this left hip flexor here. So just have a play, just see where feels best for you. There's no right or wrong, and mine will look different to yours, and that will look different to the next person practicing this. But that's all part of yoga, like making it look completely what feels most natural and comfortable in your own body. As you inhale, let's take the hands up overhead. Really reach through the spine, think nice and tall here. And there's so many options. You can reach tall through the hands. You can steeple the grip, so kind of bring the hands together and then point with your pointy fingers straight up ahead. Or some people like to interlace the fingers out behind the back and open through the chest. It's also just a really nice kind of shoulder stretch, and you can feel that through the tops of the arms as well. When you're ready, wherever your grip is, just bringing those hands back down onto the mat in front of you. Frame that front foot with your hands, so one hand on either side. And then we're just going to step that right foot back to tabletop position. We're going to take it to the other side, so just before we do, if there's any nice gentle movement you'd like to take, maybe moving over the wrists or a couple of cat-cows, absolutely please do that. And then we're going to come back up onto the knees and take it onto the other side. So this time bringing the left foot out in front of you. And there's lots of ways you can do that. So for me, you can see that's a move that comes quite naturally, but for other people, maybe not so much. So you can keep the hands there. You can guide that leg there with your hands. Just absolutely find whichever ways feel best for you. There's no kind of, it doesn't have to look a certain way. It's definitely not about what this practice looks like. It's completely for you to feel the benefit. So left leg out in front of us this time. And again, just have a little play. See where feels good for you. See what kind of stance works best. That back foot, you can be on the top of the foot or you can tuck the toes. Some people feel that that gives them a little bit more balance too. And then we're going to do the same thing. So just sending the arms up overhead. And then option to stay here with the arms really reaching towards the ceiling. Or if you'd like to take one of those arm variations, finding whichever version is good for you. And there's two schools of thought in yoga. You might hear a lot of yoga teachers kind of say, tuck the pelvis so that you avoid this kind of curving of the spine here. So if you were to tuck the pelvis, engage through the core, you kind of tuck forward. And that's kind of the traditional way it's taught. I was taught as a teacher to teach that way, but I think just be mindful of what feels best for you. And that might not feel good in your body, but if it does, tuck the pelvis. When you're ready, we're going to do the same thing again, just bringing those hands down onto the mat, frame that front foot, and we're going to send that left knee back to meet the right. Again, any wiggles you'd like to take here, go for it. Maybe some little cat-cows. And then we're just going to swing the legs to one side and come to lie on the back as we close down for a little bit of relaxation before we begin the day or finish the day, depending on where you are in the world. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a great big hug, maybe interlacing the hands, finding some gentle movement side to side maybe, or my fave, as I always say, maybe using the knees to guide some circles here, one way then the other. Just massaging through the lower back. Really nice. And then we're just going to bring the soles of the feet back down onto the mat. And we're going to end in Shavasana today. So a pose I'm sure some people are quite familiar with, or maybe you've heard of. We're just going to send the legs out long. We're going to send the arms alongside the body. And that is our final resting pose. But you can play around with it. Clearly, I'm a big advocate for that. You can bring one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart. You can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out. And if lying on your back altogether doesn't feel comfortable, you can always end your yoga practice in a seat of your choice. But just kind of give yourself permission for your resting pose, your practice full stop really, to look different, but to be something that gives you great value and helps you to feel better. If you're in Shavasana, just allow yourself to grow really heavy. Melt down into the ground, closing down the eyes and allowing your breath to return to your natural rhythm. Releasing any tension through the legs, allowing the ankles to drop out, your feet to kind of drop out to the sides. Relaxing through the shoulders and the neck. And relaxing the muscles of the face. I often think we don't realize how tense we are through our facial muscles. Just allow yourself in this moment to just be. Just take this time for you. You don't need to think about where we're going to be in 5-10 minutes time. We just need to take this moment and enjoy it for what it is, here and now. And I will leave you there. But as always, I would invite you, if you have the time, to stay in that practice. Stay in that pose for kind of as long as you'd like to, as long as you have that time. And yeah, just enjoy.